We know he's had tough fights. He's had a couple of tough fights. But, dude, he's so goddamn good. He's so protected. He knows where to be and where not to be. He's so composed. Like, look at that. Look at that movement. Look how he moves away from everything. So you're punching at air, and you're still threatening, but you're not really hitting him, and he's making you throw punches. And occasionally you clip him with a shot as he's moving away, and he rolls with a lot of shit.
But the three guys that everyone talks about are you, Alexander Usyk, and Terence Crawford. Where do you rank yourself amongst the three in the pound-for-pound conversation?
まあでもいつでも自分が一番だと思ってやってますから。
Inoue impressed the hell out of me, man. For real. He had just enough, like, wrist, just enough defense. He had that speed, he had that power, and just the way he was dissecting his tall opponent and took his jab, his best punch away from him, his jab away from him. He wasn't able to land his jab or play, you know, with the range of that jab and lower in a way because he was just too damn smart.
As rumors of a potential fight between Naoya Inoue and Jesse Bam Rodriguez continue to grow, Joe Rogan has highlighted the serious threat Inoue presents. That praise has also been echoed by boxing experts like Sean Porter, who describes Inoue as a monster because of his incredible speed, power, and quickness.
And Inoue is a monster. He's a monster. So I think that Inoue would be the favorite in the betting odds and the blah 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 blah. And it's a hell of a fight, but I just feel like there's a gap there. I do think that that's a hell of a fight.
Yes. I would like to see Bam get more experience.
Bam has to have more experience.
That's the number one thing.
He has to have more strength. Let me say this real quick, and now I think we can get out of here. Strength doesn't mean putting on muscle so that you can hit somebody and clock them. There's strength that you need to withstand what you're getting hit with as well. And Bam has to really build his body up a little bit more, getting in the ring with somebody like Inoue, who has both speed, power, quick, who has the total package. I think Bam has the total package, and he's growing into becoming the total package while Inoue is there.
At the same time, Max Kellerman considers both Bam Rodriguez and Naoya Inoue to be in a class of their own. Rodriguez has also acknowledged that fans have been waiting for this matchup for years, making their eventual meeting feel like much more than just another major fight.
Respect to Nakatani and some others, but they see you and they see the monster, and it just looks different. You two look like different kinds of animals than everybody else. And that's really what super fights and errors are about. The dust settles, two guys are left standing. When you survey the landscape, is the monster that guy for you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people have been mentioning that fight even before I became who I am today. So I know when that fight does happen, it's going to be huge for the sport of boxing.
However, Kellerman also pointed out a major physical challenge for Bam Rodriguez. He would be moving up 2 weight classes to face Naoya Inoue and would not have a significant reach advantage, creating another difficult obstacle against the Japanese champion.
How many tough fights Inoue's been in, and how young Bam is, and how well he boxes in southpaw. I would be like, yeah, Bam's gonna do it, except that he's the smaller guy coming up. He doesn't have a very long reach. If he was a long fighter like you, I'd be like, I think Bam maybe beats him. This, to me, is like a pick'em kind of fight, because if anyone has a size, it's Inoue with the size advantage, right? You have to move 2 weight classes.
Despite those concerns, Devin Haney believes Bam Rodriguez could be one of the most interesting opponents for Naoya Inoue. He points to Rodriguez's speed, angles, and ring IQ as qualities that could give the pound-for-pound star a serious test.
I think that's the only fight I would want to see Inoue in, is a Bam Rodriguez fight. I think Bam has the most ability to test Inoue. I think he has speed, he has angles, he has IQ. I think that's a fight I would love.
Meanwhile, Andre Roger took the praise even further, calling Naoya Inoue the Japanese Godzilla. He highlighted the champion's tremendous power and his consistent ability to stop his opponents.
I got to ride with my man Inoue, the hammer slammer kabama. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Bam's. I'm a big fan. But he's going up in weight, he's climbing the ladder, and I think that Inoue is a beast. He's if David is the Mexican monster, He's the Japanese Godzilla. So I just gotta ride in that direction, and I don't think Sans Class, he's moving into a weight class that's not comfortable for him. Where he's at now, with Bam moving up to him, I think he's going.
Timothy Bradley believes Bam Rodriguez's defensive weaknesses could be especially dangerous against a fighter as precise and explosive as Naoya Inoue. If Bam performs the way he did in his previous fight, Bradley doubts he would make it past the middle rounds.
The fight that I'm going to talk about next, the Inoue fight, because everyone's talking about is Bam. Do you think Bam is ready for Inoue? Is Bam ready for Inoue? What the Bishop say? Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell no. No, he's not ready for Inoue right now. Hey, Bam, tremendous skills, pound for pound. Inoue is on the pound for pound list, but is he ready right now, like the next fight? Hell no. I think Bam need a couple more touches. And I think that Robert Garcia is a lot smarter.
Bradley also highlighted the technical difference between the two fighters, pointing to Inoue's ability to punish opponents with sharp counterpunches whenever they try to exchange.
Bam is the type of guy that likes to sit in front of you, and then he gets on the sides and gets on the angles. Inoue got a left hook, he got a right hand, he can turn with you, right? Either way, he can turn with you. Inoue can box off the back foot, you know. Inoue can press going forward. Inoue has straight punches, one of the coldest 1-2s in the game. Coldest 1-2s in the game. 1-2-1. All the shots that Bam was getting caught with and supposedly blocking those shots. Inoue with the punching power that he had.
Roy Jones Jr. looks at the matchup from a different perspective, focusing on the biggest question surrounding Bam Rodriguez. Can he handle Naoya Inoue's power? Jones respects Bam's footwork and technical skills, but he also points out that neither fighter is impossible to hit. That means one clean punch could completely change the fight.
A beautiful fight for boxing, for both guys, and I think the timing is just right, one fight away. However, I do know that Inoue gets hit more than I think Rodriguez does. I think Inoue is susceptible to more things than Bam is, because Bam uses his feet so well. So I think Bam's feet are what going to give him the advantage, because he can avoid Inoue's north and south.
Still, Jones believes Bam Rodriguez has a chance to win if he can survive Inoue's early attacks. If Rodriguez can withstand the champion's power, his movement and footwork could become more effective as the fight progresses. But if Bam cannot handle the early punishment, Jones believes he could quickly find himself in serious trouble against one of boxing's most dangerous finishers.
Inoue is not going to be able to avoid his east and west attack, and that's going to be tough. So now, what we got to see from Bam is, can you take Inoue's punch? Because 9 times out of 10, Inoue going to hit you once or twice. Because like you say, he does get touched a lot. So he going to get touched. Can you take that? Because if you can take that, then you can beat him. But if you can't take that, then that's the question. So the big thing is, if he can take Inoue's punch, I think he beats Inoue. But if he can't take that punch, Inoue will.
Moving beyond the predictions, Robert Garcia has focused on whether the fight can actually happen. Garcia says Bam Rodriguez is ready to face Inoue whenever the opportunity comes, but he wants a serious, concrete offer before treating the matchup as more than just talk.
I think we're ready for it. I know Bam will take it, and we'll take it too. But look, Inoue we just read a little bit, I think yesterday or this morning, that Inoue said that he's not going to wait for Bam, that he might move up to 126 if the fight doesn't happen by February. Well, at least send us an offer. At least send us.
Position becomes even clearer when Garcia explains that his team has still not received a formal offer. For now, Rodriguez remains focused on his planned schedule, with a unification fight still taking priority. However, Garcia says that could change quickly if Inoue's team comes forward with a serious and legitimate proposal.
I talked to Eddie Hearn 2 days ago, and Eddie Hearn told me that he hasn't heard anything from Inoue or his team. I haven't heard anything either, because I manage Bam, so I haven't heard anything from anybody. Mr. Honda hasn't told me anything. Anybody from Inoue's team has never told me anything. So until then, we're moving on and we're gonna go as planned. You know, November, early December, Bam hopefully gets the unification fight against another one of the champions at 118. Unless we get a call and we get an offer, then we'll consider the fight against Inoue.
Looking at the matchup from a broader perspective, Teddy Atlas gives Rodriguez plenty of credit for what he has already accomplished at such a young age. Atlas believes Bam has earned his place among boxing's elite, but he also stresses that Inoue brings a completely different level of experience, accomplishments, and championship success.
Bam has already won titles at different weight classes, and he's won them against really good fighters. You know, a couple of them a little older, but I mean, he's already beaten top fighters. It's not like he hasn't been tested. It's not like he hasn't been in there with top guys or the best guys. He has done what he's done at an early age with top guys. And so in that way, I have to believe in him, and I do believe in him. But he's still, how old is he, 26? He's still 26, and he's going to go in there with one of, well, possibly could wind up being one of the all-time greats. And Bam might wind up being that too. But Bam is still a little bit further down the road in that career. In a way, he's a little further up the road in that career.
Andre Ward breaks down the contrasting styles of both fighters using an interesting compass analogy. Ward describes Inoue as a north and south fighter, meaning his style is built around forward movement and explosive attacks in straight lines. What makes it even more dangerous is that his aggression can also work as a form of defense, because opponents are often forced backwards simply because they cannot afford to stand directly in front of his offense.
It's a very, very interesting matchup between these two because they're both very violent fighters. The difference is Naoya Inoue, he's going to try to kick your front door down, right? And he's going to do it with a lot of explosiveness. He's going to have a lot of power behind it. And you better have somebody on the other side of that door that can really hold that door and resist that man, because if not, he's going to hurt you and he's going to spook you with that quickness and that power. And the power is real. At the end of his shots, he can put your life.
Rodriguez, however, represents a very different style. Ward describes Bam as an east and west fighter who uses lateral movement to create unusual angles and attack from unexpected positions. Rather than constantly moving forward, Bam can make opponents chase him while he searches for openings to counter.
He's very, very fast twitchy. He's very, very explosive. And for me, Naoya Inoue, he will go laterally, but he's not as skillful as Bam Rodriguez laterally. So in other words, Bam wants to get you on the angle. Bam Rodriguez is at his best when he can get to your left side or get to your right side, have you look for him, and then he meets you with a punch. He's elite when he does that. He's very good when he's in front of you. Naoya Inoue is a north and south guy. He's going to have a starting point and he's going to explode straight at you. And most of the guys...
That contrast is also why Lou Di-Bella believes timing could play a major role. Di-Bella has analyzed a potential Inoue-Rodriguez matchup and argues that the longer the fight is delayed, the more the advantage could gradually shift toward Bam.
Inoue and Bam fought in the first quarter of 2027. Who would you like in that fight?
The longer it waits, the more I like Bam.
Same.
Okay, the longer it waits, the more I like Bam. If you follow Inoue's career, if you know who he is, he's so rich. He's so bigger than life over there. He already could retire and just make money as an advertising giant, you know, sponsorship kind of face of brands and whatever. And that makes you less hungry. It just does. And you also see, as much as he's still great, and I think he's great, I think he's not maybe as great as he was before he felt himself the way he feels himself right now. And I think that's an advantage to Bam.
Bruce Carrington also expects the matchup to be fascinating. While acknowledging that Rodriguez can sometimes leave defensive openings, Carrington still believes Bam's rhythm, timing, and technical ability are elite enough to keep him competitive against a fighter of Inoue's caliber.
And that's actually going to be a good fight. I do think that, you know, weight classes matter, but when it comes to skills, like skills can pay the bills, man. Even me, when I spar guys that's like up to 154 if I really wanted to, and I fight 126. But that's because, you know, I can hang with them because of my skills. And I think that Bam has the skills to be able to hang with a guy like Inoue. Like, Bam is just, he's so swift and so smooth. He might have little lapses here and there in his defense. We've seen, Bam get knocked down. We've seen Bam get hurt. But man, he gets into such a rhythm that is like poetry in motion. I wonder if he has enough power to keep Inoue off.
Pauline Malignaggi, meanwhile, is focusing on Naoya Inoue's signature punching combinations. He respects what makes those attacks so dangerous, but warns that Bam's recent performance showed moments when he could be hit cleanly. If those same defensive mistakes appear against Inoue, Malignaggi believes the consequences could be far more serious.
What Inoue has is a short, tight, strong right hand. That's why it's one of his best punches. He's in and out with that little bounce, little tight bounce that he has, and he really lets go of some vicious right hands at times, and they're short and they're straight. If those straight shots are the ones that Rodriguez is going to be susceptible to, short, tight shots with some speed. We got flies here. It's just crazy here in Sicilian. Nice Sicilian weather with so many insects are crazy. But anyway, yeah, if you're gonna have if you're gonna be susceptible to those shots, you gotta start wondering, could Inoue hurt Rodriguez?
Because of that, Paulie does not necessarily want Bam to rush into the biggest fight possible. He would rather see Rodriguez have another fight at 122 pounds, giving him time to adjust to the weight, correct technical issues, and gain more experience before stepping into the ring with Inoue.
Well, if you get hit with those tight straight shots from Inoue, it's a lot different than from Vargas. And if you're telling me that you were feeling the ones from Vargas, you're going to move up in weight again and fight Inoue, and Inoue's power against smaller guys, and obviously Bam's smaller guy as well, it's shown to be pretty devastating. Now again, I love this fight. I love the Inoue fight, but I think that Bam probably should take one fight at 122, maybe around October. If I'm Bam's team, that's what I would look into. I would love to know what you guys think about that. I don't think he should just jump right into the Inoue fight from this fight. I thought he looked good. Listen, at the end of the day, there's always things to work on, things to criticize.
Sean Zadell argues that Rodriguez could pull off the upset if he stays comfortable in the pocket, remains composed, and consistently catches Inoue with counterpunches. In his view, Bam's ability to stay disciplined while capitalizing on openings could ultimately make the difference.
A bigger box office guy, when you add up every little global market there is, even if 98% of it is coming from one market in particular. And Bam Rodriguez is, never going to duplicate those kind of numbers. I don't think he'll even quite be able to do what Barrera. David Benavidez at 200 pounds, being Mexican-American, is struggling to move the needle the way a lot of people like me think he should be able to, because I get, in Mexico, to quote American Me, which is a movie about LA, not Mexico, they're like, he's not Mexican, he's not, I just love that movie and how to bring that line up. When you're not from Mexico, unless you're Oscar De La Hoya and Fernando Vargas, you
Hoppinger also leans slightly toward Rodriguez, with much of his reasoning based on Bam's age and continued development. He believes Rodriguez is still improving, while Inoue has already gone through years of elite-level competition. That raises the possibility that accumulated wear and tear could eventually become a factor for the Japanese champion.
I just simply lean towards Bam slightly just because of the youth and he's ascending still. I just think that's a big, major factor here. And, the Monster's been in a lot of really tough fights, against Donaire, the first fight, broken orbital bone, and the fight with Nakatani, I was just at, that was a tough fight too. So I think we have to give the edge to somebody ever so slightly. It has to be Bam. He's a lot younger, he's a lot fresher.
On the other hand, Liam Goff is concerned about Bam's defensive lapses. Against an offensive fighter as precise and dangerous as Inoue, Goff believes even small mistakes could have major consequences. Ultimately, he favors the more proven and battle-tested fighter in the matchup.
When you're in there against someone like Inoue, who's an offensive juggernaut, you need to tighten the defense up. It needs to be on point because this guy has devastating power. Although he hasn't shown in his last couple of fights, he really does have that. Bam's offense, in some ways, is his defense. So if his offense drops against Inoue, oh boy, that could be a problem. That could be a problem. If they do the fight this year, I will stand by what I've said. As much as I love Bam Rodriguez, he's one of my favorite fighters. He's certainly in the top 5 of favorite fighters I love watching. I would have to go with the tried and tested Naoya Inoue. I would. it'd be interesting, and I say that with no great degree of certainty, but it's just these variables that I just outlined, which would have me have reservations about picking Jesse Bam Rodriguez.
Navarro takes a more balanced position, arguing that an Inoue-Rodriguez clash could become a fight for the history books. Both fighters bring elite skill, power, and contrasting styles, creating the kind of tactical battle that could keep fans guessing from the opening bell through the final round.
You know what? It is a special fight. It's two fighters who've been on the pound-for-pound list for the past couple of years. They've just been, no offense to any of their opponents, but they've just been sweeping their oppositions. And it'll be a beautiful fight to watch. They're both very strong, very skillful fighters. And I think that'll be one for the books, history books. I really do mean that.
Do you
Let's stand behind that.
And finally, Malik Scott has leaned toward Bam Rodriguez. Scott believes Bam has the complete skill set needed to defeat Inoue, especially because of his ability to stay efficient, conserve energy, and remain composed without overcommitting.
Basically talking about he's so technically sound and he's so compact and that much of a complete fighter. It's very hard to even see the likes of someone like the Monster just doing to him what he's done to all his other opponents. I will go on record and say when Bam fight Inoue, I would consider this Inoue's best opponent, especially as far as quality. Bam doesn't really waste energy. Bam doesn't really overreach. And I also believe that he has an incredible chin. I've seen Bam get cracked, but I've never seen him rattled. Like, you know what I mean? I've seen Bam, get cracked and come right back with shots. He just checks the box off of anything that has to do with a fighter being complete.
With so many respected voices divided between Inoue's power and experience and Bam Rodriguez's movement, youth, and technical versatility, this potential matchup remains one of boxing's most intriguing fights. If they finally meet, it will be more than a battle between two champions. It will be a clash between two completely different styles and approaches to elite-level boxing.